Hey guys, I'm back with yet another great Major League Baseball betting strategy that I call the Pummeled Pitchers. Now keep watching because I'll show you this very simple betting system that's going to put some money in your pocket. If the only information you held about a specific baseball matchup was that one of the teams has been allowing tons of runs recently, would you tend to bet them or to bet against them? If you've been following my work, you know I'm a contrarian. I tend to go against the grain because that's where you often find value bets. Based on this mantra, I would put my money on the team whose pitchers have been getting pounded in the past few days. In this video, I'll show you a great betting system that's based on data from 7 full seasons. And we'll see if it fits with my intuition that we should bet the team who's been going through a tough stretch by squandering many runs recently. Alright, let's kick off the exploration of the data by looking at a bad 2-game stretch. So what if a team that I'm going to call Team A has lost its past 2 games while allowing a minimum of 6 runs per game, or 7 per game, or a minimum of 8, or a minimum of 9? Let's look at what the data says. The table that I'm about to show you is going to answer all of those questions by placing fictitious $1 bets on or against Team A after such a 2-game span, still based on the 2010 to 2016 Major League Baseball regular seasons. Now, look at this. Yeah, baby! I am stoked to find out that our initial hypothesis is valid. We are much better off betting Team A than fading them. As you can see, the profit numbers are way higher in the former case than the latter. Now, what's even more exciting is that the highest winnings occurred on a case where the sample size was smaller, which equates to a lofty ROI, a return on investment. So as you can see on the screen, we gained $26.46 over 323 games when putting our money on Team A after it lost 2 games in a row by allowing at least 9 runs in each meeting. And you know what? Things are about to get even better in the next section. Now, teams may not behave the same way depending on whether they are playing on the road or at home. So as a result, I've decided to break down the earlier results as a function of the location of the game. Okay, so the table on top shows you the results when Team A was the road team, and the table at the bottom shows you the results when they were the home team. And recall how we made approximately $26 when betting Team A after it allowed 9+ runs in its previous couple of matches. Well, as you can see on the screen, that profit was split up as follows. We made approximately $29 on the road versus -$2 at home. So things could not be clearer than this. Stay away from such teams when playing in front of their home crowd, but put your money on them when being the visiting team. So based on the evidence, we retain a first potential winning system.
Betting Team A went on the road after it lost 2 straight games by allowing a minimum of 9 runs per match. Now, one more case stands out. The same as before, except that we now require a minimum of 7 runs surrendered per game instead of 9. So we're going to keep digging with respect to this second prospective betting strategy that I'm going to call strategy number 2. Fading Team A yields a negative profit under all cases considered. So is betting Team A when playing at home. So those options must be left out for sure.
We are off to a fantastic start with 2 potentially very lucrative gambling systems. Let's now check the performance of those gambling strategies as a function of Team A's money line. Should we only bet Team A when they're established favorites or underdogs, or do the odds don't matter? Let's find out.
I have separated the possible money lines into 11 ranges. We then look at the profit made within each such range. So let's get going by taking a peek at how strategy number 1's profit of $28.82 was obtained as a function of Team A's odds. Now, as you can see, out of the 11 moneyline categories, there are only 2 where we ended up in the red, and in both cases the losses were pretty minimal. So therefore, I would argue that this angle does very well no matter what the odds are.
Yes!
Okay, let's verify if we reach the same conclusion with respect to strategy number 2. Well, as you can see, we lost a good chunk of cash in the 1.95 to 2.05 odds range. However, there would not be any logical reason to claim that we should bet this system except if Team A's money line lies between 1.95 and 2.05. And that's particularly true considering the previous category, 1.8 to 1.95, was very profitable with a gain close to $11. So it just would not make sense to impose such a restriction. I believe it happened just due to random luck. So as a consequence, I claim that this system works well no matter the odds.
Now, I do not like the future outlook of a potential system unless it has shown consistent gains from season to season in the past. That's why I always take a look at the yearly profit of each gambling system. So without further ado, let's inspect the season by season performance of strategy number 1.
You could hardly expect better results than this. 6 winning seasons compared to a single losing year. Also note that the worst season led to $3 losses, which would not take a significant blow to your bankroll. So I definitely endorse this betting strategy. Attaboy! Let's keep rolling by checking the yearly past performance of strategy number 2. As you can see, not nearly as great as the previous system, right? We discover 4 winning seasons versus 3 losing ones. And basically the overall $23 profit came from just 2 successful years, 2010 and 2013. And that's not the kind of pattern that you hope to detect. So for these reasons, I recommend excluding this gambling system.
Now, what if the losing spell lasted 3 games instead of just 2, still surrendering many runs in each game? Once again, we begin by examining the result from betting or fading Team A from the 2010 to 2016 Major League Baseball regular seasons.
So as you can see on your screen, I'm using the exact same table format as before. The only difference is we're now looking at Team A's past 3 games instead of its past 2 games. Now the good news is, putting your money on Team A turns out yet again to be the better choice, as opposed to betting against them. Yahoo! So what's the bad news? Well, the profit figures are not as high as they were in the 2-game stretch that we covered earlier. As you can see, none of them exceed $10. So let's cross our fingers that we obtain more significant winnings in the subsequent sections.
Okay, let's now do the road home split under the 3-game stretch setting.
Well, I was hoping for more conclusive results. The 2 highest profit amounts are $11.94 and $10.49. But since the latter was obtained through a sample size of just 49, which is unreliable and could be due to just random luck, we'll focus on the former case, and I'm going to call it strategy number 3. It means betting Team A when on the road after it lost 3 straight games by allowing a minimum of 7 runs per match.
Alright, the $11.94 winnings secured by strategy number 3 are not that great, considering they were obtained over a 7-year span. Hopefully, we can get bigger gains by restricting ourselves to a specific range of odds. So let's do the odds split in the 3-game stretch setting.
Okay, so here is the odds split for strategy number 3. It seems crystal clear that we should stay away from cases where Team A's moneyline is above 3.0 or plus 200 in American format. And doing so yields the following modified gambling system that I'm going to call strategy 3B, which is essentially the same as the third strategy, except that we bet only if the moneyline is 3.0 or less. And that leads to a profit of close to $19. Now we're talking.
As we did earlier, the final step before accepting a specific gambling system is to check its past performance. So let's scrutinize strategy number 3B's performance from year to year.
5 money-making seasons out of 7 sounds good.
Yes!
Also note how we did not experience a single season where we suffered big losses, which is a good sign.
Let's dig even deeper by reviewing the situation where the bad stretch extends to 4 games. So in other words, Team A has lost 4 straight games while allowing many runs in each of them.
Alright, so let's now look at the 4-game stretch results. First, you'll notice that the minimum number of runs squandered per match now runs from 5 to 8 instead of 6 to 9 to avoid tiny sample sizes. And still, you'll notice that when the minimum number of runs is 8, we only have a sample size of 21 games. So overall, putting your money on Team A shows up as a much better alternative than fading them. And this goes in accordance with everything we've seen thus far. However, no gains above $10 were obtained.
Why don't we break down the results, depending on whether Team A played on the road or at home?
If you glance through these 2 tables, you'll see that the most fruitful scenario without a doubt is a minimum of 6 runs allowed per game when playing on the road. So we'll focus on this potential system that I'm going to call strategy number 4. Now obviously a sample size below 100 may not be extremely reliable, but still this is our best option by far. So we'll keep digging for further validation regarding its trustworthiness.
Did strategy number 4 perform well across all odds or only on specific ranges? Let's find out right now.
It's pretty remarkable that this betting strategy generated positive gains in all 11 odds categories except just one. And there's no way I'm going to recommend savvy sports investors like you to bet a system except in a very tight range of money lines. Those losses probably occurred by luck or lack thereof. So the appropriate conclusion here is the following. The system under study does well across all odds. So this factor should not be part of your decision making.
Should we pursue strategy number 4 in the future or not? The only hurdle left is the season split, which means checking if the overall $15.81 were acquired via 1-2 lucky seasons or not.
Okay, it's good to see 5 positive years compared to just 2 losing ones, both of which led to very negligible losses. But as you can see, the highest number of bets in a year turned out to be just 17. So this betting strategy has shown good reliability, but don't expect to buy a house with the winnings coming from this particular angle.
Should we remove the losing condition? Basically, there were 2 requirements for us to place a bet. Team A had to have lost its past 2, 3, or 4 games, and they had to have allowed many runs in each of those meetings. By doing so, we focused on teams that had a feeling like things were going very badly. But what if we remove the condition that they must have lost all of those games where they squandered many runs? Do we get even more promising gambling strategies under these circumstances? Well, let me save you some time. The short answer is no. If you want all the details with numbers, you can have a look at my blog post entitled The Pummeled Pitchers on my website at professormj.com. But in this video, I'm going to omit the details and I'll tell you straight away that removing the losing condition does not improve the results. Well, thank God we did not work this hard for nothing. We came up with 3 winning systems that I'm going to combine into just one. So let me summarize what this 3-in-1 gambling system is.
Okay, so the Pummeled Pitchers betting strategy is as follows. So you bet the road team. So under this system, you are never going to bet a home team because as we've seen previously, the results were not very good. So you bet the road team if it has lost either its past 2 games by allowing 9+ runs in each contest, or its past 3 games by allowing 7+ runs in each contest, but don't bet if the money line is greater than 3.0 in decimal format, which is the equivalent of +200 in American format, or if it has lost its past 4 games by allowing 6+ runs in each contest.
How much money can you expect to earn by using this all-in-one betting strategy? Well, you cannot simply add the profit amounts from each of the 3 betting strategies that I showed you earlier because of duplicates, which means you're going to include the same game more than once. So in order to answer this question, I had to go back to my big dataset containing information on 7 full seasons. I entered the specific criteria for betting, and here are the results.
This great Major League Baseball betting strategy would have led to 126 bets won versus 127 bets lost over the 2010 to 2016 regular seasons. So we basically won 50% of our bets. But since we mostly bet underdogs, we made a nice profit of $37.58 from placing just $1 bets. So that equates a great return on investment of close to 15%. So the winnings per season are $5.37, which can be obtained by simply dividing the profit by 7 seasons. Well, what does that mean? Well, if your average bet is $100, you can expect to earn $537 per Major League Baseball season. Not bad at all. Now, if you combine this strategy with all the others that I'm showing you in this YouTube channel, you are ready to do some serious damage to your bookies.
If you were to find a $10 bill on the ground, or if you're American, sorry, that's all I had, would you pick it up? Of course you would. Well, the Pummeled Pitchers betting system is exactly like that. It's free money going into your pocket, except that it can be much more than $10. Also, this betting strategy is not a one-time thing. You can benefit from it year after year after year. So, are you excited about what I just taught you? Yes! Well, you should be. And guess what? This is just the tip of the iceberg. I've got 18 more betting systems for you in baseball alone. Oh, don't go away. Cancel whatever your plans were and check my other videos if you want to make extra money to travel, for your kids, your mortgage, etc. This is really easy money that's waiting for you. Congrats for watching. This is Professor MJ, PhD in statistics, and I'll see you in the next video right now.